All right, folks. Thanks for checking out the video. I want to talk today about the big first Kamala Harris interview, at least since she became the Democrat nominee for president. Now, that's right. Kamala Harris has been at least presumptive Democrat nominee for the better part of the last 6 weeks or so, and has yet to actually conduct an on camera interview. Okay. Very odd, very odd. So this interview has been hyped up. They're making a big deal about it. The media, the politicos, and so forth. Now, I did see it, and it was not good for Kamala Harris. Okay, very good if you're Donald Trump. Okay, and obviously the political opponent to this person. Now, I'm going to play a couple clips here, and we'll talk a little bit about it. But Kamala Harris is a very poor communicator. She comes across as really lacking in self confidence, that she doesn't even know what she's saying. She doesn't have a depth of knowledge about the issues. And this is in a very, very soft interviewer. Okay. This is not someone that's going to pose much of a challenge to her, push back, or question anything that she has to say. And this is the best she can do. And you know that she's been prepped for this for probably the almost entirety of the last 6 weeks. Okay. And this is the best she can do. So I'm going to play a clip here, and then we'll talk a little bit about it.
Generally speaking, how should voters look at some of the changes that you've made, that you've explained some of here in your policy? Is it because you have more experience now and you've learned more about the information? Is it because you were running for president in a Democratic primary? And should they feel comfortable and confident that what you're saying now is going to be your policy moving forward?
Dana, I think the most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed. You mentioned the Green New Deal. I have always believed, and I have worked on it, that the climate crisis is real, that it is an urgent matter to which we should apply metrics that include holding ourselves to deadlines around time. We did that with the Inflation Reduction Act. We have set goals for the United States of America, and by extension, the globe, around when we should meet certain standards for reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, as an example. That value has not changed. My value around what we need to do to secure our border, that value has not changed. I spent 2 terms as the Attorney General of California prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, violations of American laws regarding the illegal passage of guns, drugs, and human beings across our border. My values have not changed.
Okay. All right. So this question was in reference to Kamala Harris flip-flopping on, I don't know, half a dozen or a dozen or so major issues. Everything from illegal immigration to fracking to electric vehicle mandates, and so forth. Now, the interviewer here, Dana Bash of CNN, basically gives Kamala Harris an out here, because instead of just asking the question and letting her respond, she says, "Oh, well, is it because of this? Is it because of that?" It's like, no, you need to let her say that. You need to let Kamala Harris say that, not give her, was it A, B, or C? I mean, I'm pretty sure Dana Bash knows how to conduct an interview, and that was intentional. That wasn't a mistake. That, again, she's a softball interviewer for somebody that she probably agrees with and is going to vote for. So why would she want to inform the CNN audience and the greater audience nationwide, right? And it's interesting how we see Kamala Harris, she pivots from specific policies and issues to values. Okay. Now, values and policies are two different things. Okay. She says, well, my values haven't changed. Okay. Well, all of your policy positions have changed. What about those? I didn't ask you about your values, but again, I'm not conducting the interview. This is somebody from CNN. That's what I would have asked. Okay. And then here's another clip here. Kamala Harris talking about the so-called border bill and illegal immigration. So I'll play that, and then we'll talk a little bit about it.
Joe Biden and I and our administration worked with members of the United States Congress on an immigration issue that is very significant to the American people and to our security, which is the border. And through bipartisan work, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, a bill was crafted, which we supported, which I support. And Donald Trump got word of this bill that would have contributed to securing our border. And because he believes that it would not have helped him politically, he told his folks in Congress, don't put it forward. He killed the bill. A border security bill that would have put 1,500 more agents on the border. And let me tell you something, the Border Patrol endorsed the bill. And I'm sure in large part because they knew they were working around the clock and 1,500 more agents would help them. That bill would have allowed us to increase seizures of fentanyl. Ask any community in America that has been devastated by fentanyl what passing that bill would have done to address their concern and a pain that they've experienced.
So you would push that legislation again. I just want to
Not
ask
only
about
push it, I will make sure that it comes to my desk and I would sign it.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, what to say about this? Okay. So Donald Trump, as at this point, a private citizen, he is not in office, has more control over what goes on in the United States government and Congress than the president and the vice president. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And two, the border, at least relative to how it's been since 2021, was pretty darn secure from 2017 until the early part of 2021. Okay, Donald Trump didn't have a bill. He just allowed the agencies to enforce the law. He didn't put up with it. So why did you, Ms. Harris and Joe Biden, say that you were going to reverse all of Donald Trump's immigration policies on day one? You didn't have to do that. You could have just left things as is, and we wouldn't have had this issue. We've had over 10 million people, if you believe the official numbers, come into the country just in the last 4 years. 10 million people. Okay. That's a higher population than New York City, than Houston, Phoenix, Denver. I mean, pick a city. That's more people than our major cities in this country. Okay. And she talks about the border patrol endorsed this bill. Well, the border patrol's endorsed Donald Trump, so they obviously don't have a problem with him. But my pushback to her would have been, well, why did you need the bill to begin with? You inherited a secure border, at least significantly more secure than it became after you and Joe Biden reversed every Donald Trump immigration policy from day one. You don't need a bill to stop people from coming into the country illegally. You and your administration have facilitated the importation of millions and millions of people that shouldn't be in this country, and that's a fact. And you don't need a bill to stop that. You didn't need a bill to do it. You don't need a bill to stop it. So again, Kamala Harris is a terrible, terrible choice for president of the United States, vice president even. She shouldn't even be in the U.S. Senate. She shouldn't be anywhere near any levers of power or policy influence in this country at all. She's a poor communicator. She lacks self-confidence. She's always afraid that, I believe has been told, or is at least somewhat self-aware enough, that she comes off as weird and odd and awkward. And she's constantly thinking of that in her head about making a gaffe or saying something. And it just leads to her giving these poor interviews. Again, this is the first one she's conducted since she's been the presidential candidate. You can go back and look at some of the interviews that she conducted while she was vice president and while she was in the Senate. So just a terrible, terrible person. Vote for Donald Trump in 2024. I will be. I hope you do too. So anyways, that's what I think. Let me know what you all think. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.